You get a guy up here that has done what Joey Votto has done throughout his minor league career, and especially this year. I mean, every single award that you could possibly give to somebody, I think this kid has won. Everybody talks about, well, I don't know if he's going to be able to play first base in the big leagues. I don't buy that. I think the biggest question mark right now is, can he hit up here? If he can hit up there, they can teach him how to catch the ball and catch ground balls at first base. He's not going to be weak over there, and I'm looking forward to see how he does in a ball game getting 4 at-bats.
We're going to find out today. The Reds have taken the field. Tom Shern has completed his warm-up tosses. They throw the ball around the horn. And our first pitch today is brought to you by Belterra Casino Resort and Spa. Come for the $100,000 big cash spin. For details, call 1-888-BELTERRA or visit BelterraCasino.com. Andy Chavez settling in from the left side, waves about a couple of times. Tom Shern delivers strike one, and we are underway at Great American Ballpark. Another hot day in the Queen City. Set an all-time record yesterday of 96 degrees, and it is every bit of that at game time right now. A fastball is on the outside corner, and just like that, Shern ahead of Chavez at no balls and 2 strikes. Chavez at 271 with a home run and 15 runs batted in, an extremely valuable 4th outfielder for that Mets team. He's been injured a lot this season. He looks at a breaking ball down and in. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Reds defensively have Adam Dunn in left, Josh Hamilton in center, Jr. in right, Encarnacion and Gonzalez at third and short, Phillips and Votto second and first, a battery of Shern and Javier Valentin. 1-2 the count on Chavez, and a fastball is grounded down to third, backhanded behind the bag by Encarnacion. His throw on the money, and Chavez retired to begin the ball game. Luis Castillo started the opening game at second base in this series. Ruben Gotay got the nod last night, and now Castillo back in there today as Gotay gives Jose Reyes a rare day off at shortstop. Castillo came over, of course, from Minnesota, playing in his 29th game for the Mets today.
You look at this lineup, Tom, and besides Jeff Conine and Mike DeFelice and the pitcher John Maine, they've got some guys that can absolutely fly. If they want to take advantage of their speed today or need to steal bases, I'm sure Willie Randolph will have no problem throwing up the steal sign.
0-1 on Luis Castillo, who as a Met is batting .288. There's a swing and a foul ball back out of play. Well, this is a running team. There's no 2 ways about that. The Mets have already set a franchise record with 179 stolen bases this season, and we basically still have 3.5 weeks to go in it.
The guy that amazes me more than anything else, we were talking about it last night, and he's standing on deck, and that's David Wright. 30 stolen bases for a third baseman. My goodness.
A fastball just off the inside corner. It's 1-2 on Castillo. Well, Wright said before the season ever began, he very much believes he is a 30-30 player.
He's going to be 30-30-30 because he's already got 30 doubles.
A bouncing ball to the shortstop. Gonzalez plays a short hop on the second bounce and throws out Castillo, and Shern gets a pair of ground ball outs to start the day.
And that's exactly what I was talking about when we were discussing Tom Shern and his game plan. Now that he's had a couple of starts under his belt, he knows he's got to get the ball on the ground. He's not going to strike out everybody that comes to the plate, but he's got just that little tweak in his delivery that's just a little bit funky. It's hard for the hitters to pick up the pitch the first time around when they face him.
Well, here is David Wright. He checks in at .317, 26 home runs and 91 runs batted in to go along with those 33 doubles and 30 stolen bases. And Shern, another first pitch strike. 3 batters, 3 first pitch strikes.
I love that.
Wright, who hails from Norfolk, Virginia, a right-handed batter. 2 down, nobody on, and Shern throws a fastball in the inside corner this time. Strike 2. Shern with a glove out in front of his chest, the ball in hand, and the wind in the pitch. A breaking ball just floats off that outside corner at 68 miles per hour.
You know, that pitch does look like it floats until it gets right up to the plate and the ball just, the bottom drops out of it. I don't know how he gets that much spin on that slow of a pitch.
Slow roller to Gonzalez in the hole. He fields, throws in time to get Wright hustling up the line, and a perfect start for Tom Shern. Reds come to bat in the bottom of the first inning. No score. Reds come to bat against right-hander John Maine, having a solid year. 14 wins against 8 losses, a 3.57 ERA. No scores. Josh Hamilton looks at a fastball under the knees. Ball 1 to Hamilton.
Going to see a lot of fastballs. He does know how to change speeds with John Maine. He's got 2 breaking balls, the curveball and the slider.
Fastball lined into deep left center field, but right there is Beltran, 1 away.
I think he has finally learned by watching the likes of Glavine and some of the other guys that are on this stuff from a veteran standpoint. John Maine has finally realized that, you know what, I've got good stuff. If I throw strikes and keep the ball down and move the ball in and out, I can win ball games in New York because I've got a great defense behind me.
Alex Gonzalez at 273, 16 home runs, 54 runs batted in, a right-handed batter. And a first pitch is a fastball at the belt, strike 1. The Mets defensively, Chavez in left, Beltran in center, Lastings, Millage in right field. There's a foul ball straight back 0-2 to Gonzalez. David Wright at third base, Ruben Gotay at short, Luis Castillo the second baseman, and Jeff Conine over at first, a battery of DeFelice and Maine. No score in the game, neither team with a base runner. Great to have you with us on this Wednesday afternoon from downtown Cincinnati. The 0-2 to Gonzalez, a breaking ball served into right field. It will fall in front of Lastings Millage, a 1-out single by Gonzalez.
Well, he had his 7-game hit streak snapped last night, and he's ready to start another, and that's now 7 of 8 that he's hit in.
It's amazing he has hit as well as he has hit when you consider all the time that he has missed.
I know. And you know, the thing about it, Tom, is when he came back off the bereavement list, he came off with some serious baseball play.
Yeah.
I mean, he put the ball in play and played some great shortstop.
Yeah, 2 hits his first start. The second game of that doubleheader in Pittsburgh started the next day and had 4 hits in the game. Here's Ken Griffey Jr. A fastball is outside. Jr. at 286, 29 home runs, 88 batted in. And here we go for the final 3.5 weeks. And Jr., who has hit just 6 home runs since the All-Star break, is 8 home runs shy of 600. To get to 600, Jr. needs to turn it up in a hurry. That one sails high and away, 2 balls and no strikes. As part of its extra effort program, the Ohio Casualty Group will make a donation to Habitat for Humanity. Each time the Reds hit a double or a triple, it's the extra effort program from the Ohio Casualty Group and their independent agents. Protect what's yours. 2-0 to Jr. He looks at a fastball right down the middle, 2 balls and a strike.
You know, Tom, Jr.'s bat speed has slowed so much on the overpowering fastball, the 92, 93 mile an hour fastball. You see a lot more guys pitching him in, and he's not really getting the breaking balls like he used to.
Big swing and a miss, and that's what you're talking about.
Exactly.
That fastball up at 93.
He just cannot catch up to it, and it looks like he has to cheat to get to it. And when you cheat to have to get to a fastball, the hips open, the hands start to come forward. Then you start getting fooled on pitches that you normally would hit, breaking balls, change-ups away, and you chase those high fastballs as we saw there.
2-2 to Jr. and the pitch on the way from Maine. Another fastball up around his eyes at 94 is swung on and missed, and that's a second out of the inning. One on, 2 out for Brandon Phillips, who checks in an even .290 batter, 27 home runs. That ties an all-time Reds franchise record for home runs in a season by a second baseman. He hit number 27 here last night to tie Joe Morgan's club record set in 1976. Of course, in 76, Joe Morgan was capping off back-to-back years as the National League's most valuable player. Phillips has 88 runs batted in and looks at ball 1 low and away.
When you're a second baseman and you get mentioned in the same breath with the likes of Joe Morgan, I'd say that's some pretty heavy-duty territory, my friend. Red or no red, if they mention you with Joe Morgan, you have come and arrived.
Now, one of our friends who works security here at the ballpark, Mr. Reese Lumpkin, every day we get to the ballpark, he has a trivia question and gets such great joy out of stumping either my father or me. And his trivia question today, I nailed.
Oh, you know I'd miss it.
But the question is, how many middle infielders in the history of baseball have gone 30-30 in a season in the history of the game.
Oh, wow. I might be able to get that one.
3 would be the number. Can you name them? Brandon Phillips would become only the 4th middle infielder to be a 30-30 player.
Honus Wagner.
No.
No?
No.
He didn't do it?
No.
Well, never mind. I've already lost.
All these guys, it's happened in very, very recent memory.
Oh, okay.
There's a fly ball into right center field, pretty well hit. Millage at the wall, and it's off the top of the wall and gone. Brandon Phillips has set the Reds' single-season franchise record for home runs by a second baseman. That is number 28 for Phillips. He shared the old record with the Hall of Famer Joe Morgan, and his home run here in the opening inning gives the Reds a 2-0 lead.
How about that? The opposite way. You know, Tom, when he started hitting that ball over the second baseman, trying to drive the ball to right field, he really started becoming a great hitter.
A swing and a miss by Dunn. That is now for Brandon Phillips. 28 home runs, 84 runs batted in. What a year he is having. Just astounding. Swing and a miss by Dunn, 0-2.
Nothing like we saw the strikeouts earlier in the season. Not as many ground balls, many more line drives, and many more of those balls that we see headed towards that 370 sign in right center field.
Dunn is swinging a foul ball out of play. All right, do you have any more guesses?
Yes, I do.
All right.
30-30, guys, at
middle infielders. Either shortstop or second base.
At 30-30. I'm going to say Alex Rodriguez.
That would be one.
Okay.
Another one played for the Reds.
Barry Larkin.
You got it. And a third one is no longer a middle infielder, but did it as a middle infielder, as a second baseman. There's a foul tip into the mid of DeFelice, strike 3 to Dunn.
I'll let you know in just a minute.
And the Reds out to a 2-0 lead as we begin the second inning. Carlos Beltran to bat against Tom Schern, who mowed down the side in order in the first. And a pleasure to be joined, as my dad has nicknamed him, the bank president, the beat writer from the Cincinnati Enquirer covering the Cincinnati Reds, Mr. John Fay. John, good afternoon.
Yeah, I think this is the first time I've gotten this combination, you know. It's pretty exciting to be in here with the Cowboy and Tom, you know.
Well, it's very exciting on the Cowboy's birthday, as I know you're well aware, Mr. Fay. And so we had a chance to sing happy birthday to him a little bit earlier.
Saggy sing?
Tom sang, as a matter of fact.
That's right, and we understand my dad is going to call later and sing, we hope. 1-1 pitch bounces up there on a breaking ball. Now, Joey Votto in the lineup today. That's been the big story, that he was brought up the night before last, made his major league debut. But have you ever seen a kid that excited to be up here like he was yesterday?
Yeah, we were impressed. He's a pretty good quote. He told some nice little stories. And the interesting thing is he's batting eighth, probably for the first time in his career. And we asked Pete Mackanin about that, and he said he's kind of old school. You start out eighth, and as you progress, you kind of build your way up and move up in the lineup. And I'm anxious to see what this kid can do. He's one of those guys you've heard a lot about, and he's getting his chance now.
2-2 the count on Beltran, a switch hitter batting left-handed. He'll be followed in the inning by Jeff Conine and then Ruben Gotay. That breaking ball got away from Schern high and away. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And, we made the comment in visiting with Pete Mackanin. I'm sure you guys did too, John. It's not a surprise that Scott Hatteberg would be as classy as he is about this entire situation. But it certainly bears repeating, as it swung on and fouled out of play, that he said, hey, I understand all this, right?
Yeah, basically he said, they know what I can do. If I were the GM, I'd do the same thing. They got to take a look at some people and make some decisions about next year. And, he was fine with it.
And it sounds like he's going to play regularly, Votto, right?
Yeah, I think he's going to move into Hatteberg's role, basically.
3-2 to Beltran, and Schern delivers a fastball just off the inside corner. And apparently now the count is 3 balls and 2 strikes. They had it up 3-2 a moment ago. Beltran turning around and saying, isn't that ball 4? And it is ball 4. Now he takes off the shin guard. Well, I mentioned that my dad might be calling in today for Jeff Brantley's birthday. Dad, are you on the line with us right now?
Yes, I am, Tom, and I'm in good voice.
Well, first and foremost, how is Sherry doing following hip surgery yesterday?
I'm here in the hospital room with her here at Anderson Mercy, with this very lovely nurse, Jen, who's taken sensational care for her. And she's hurting a little bit, but otherwise she's fine.
Now, would you be interested at all in saying or singing happy birthday to the Cowboy?
I can't imagine anything I'd rather do.
Let her rip.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Cowboy. Happy birthday to you.
Man, I am pumped.
You got a short sleeve. Hey, Tom, do you have a short sleeve dress shirt on today?
Yes, he does. A button-down dress shirt, and it has JB on the side. On the other side, it has CB, not for Cutter and Buck, but for Cowboy.
And he's got a pencil holder in his pocket. I love it.
There you go.
He looks very, very dapper.
I'm glad Sherry's doing well, Marty, and I miss you, buddy, and I appreciate you calling and telling me happy birthday. And
all right, pal, and be sure to wish Brandon congratulations for me.
We will do that.
All
right, boys.
All right, Dad. Catch up with you later.
All right, pal. We'll see you.
All righty. 1-1 to count on Jeff Conine, and a breaking ball is outside. 2 balls and a strike.
The Cowboy has arrived.
I
got both the Brennemans to sing to
I
me on
thought
the
I'd hear
same
today. Marty Brenneman singing happy birthday to the Cowboy on the radio would not have been one of them.
Very, very nice. Jeff Conine, a count of 2 balls and a strike. A leadoff walk to Beltran here in the second inning. The Reds in front 2-0. Conine, of course, traded over to the Mets. There goes Beltran, and a broken bat roller to Gonzalez. The only play for him. And breaking for third is Beltran. Throw there by Votto, and he's out. Gonzalez threw out Conine at first. Votto saw it coming all the way and fired across the diamond right on the bag, cutting down Carlos Beltran.
Well, they test the rookie out right away. Now, John, if I'm not mistaken, I thought that the book report on Mr. Votto was that he didn't play first base real well, and he didn't throw real well, and I think he covered both those categories on one play here early.
Well, I think he said he's improved, and that was always a question on him. The thing that I've heard about him just talking to people, I've never seen him play other than spring training, is that he's very athletic. He's not, he had to learn how to play first base. I think he was a catcher in high school, and played in Canada. So that's still a question on him, but looked pretty good on that play.
You're right, John. I mean, we heard the same thing, and that's why they felt like they could move him into the outfield, is because he is a good athlete. I mean, he's just not some plotter over there at first base.
Yeah.
There's a fastball to Ruben Gotay, 1 ball and 1 strike. John, the bullpen. What a disappointing night again last night for Todd Coffey, brought back up from the minor leagues. Has he found any way to explain, what has kind of happened for him here in 2007?
It's just a tough thing to watch. I mean, a guy who had success last year and just has struggled, and he goes to Louisville, he's successful, and he comes up here and he's not. It's just hard to explain. Last night it was kind of typical where he got up 0-2 on some guys and then couldn't put them away. It's Pete McCannon said we got to just keep running him out there till something clicks, but it's hard to do.
3-1 to Gotay. There's a swing and a miss, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, he has gone to AAA and thrown fastballs and breaking balls for strikes and been able to be successful. When he comes to the big leagues, he tries to do too much with that breaking ball, and that ends up getting himself into trouble. The pitch that was hit out of the ballpark was a fastball.
3-2 is ball 4, low and away just under the knees, so the second walk of the inning issued by Tom Schern.
What do you think about how Eddie Guardado's velocity was last night, John?
I tell you the truth, I didn't notice.
87 to 89.
Yeah. That's what I've seen him top out at, and
that's the best I've seen him throw since he's gotten back up here and had an opportunity to go out and pitch. It just looked like he just decided, well, I'm just going to take the ball and rear back and let it fly, and if my arm comes out of socket, well, so be it.
Ball 1 to Lastings Millage.
And he looked like he was comfortable, and talked to him a little bit about it today, and he said, I'm not nearly as sore as I was trying to aim the ball and dart throw like I did earlier.
1-0 the count on Millage with a runner at first and 2 men out. There's a swing and a miss, evening the count of the ball and a strike. The Reds in front 2-0. We're in the top of the second inning. John Fay from the Cincinnati Enquirer, the beat writer covering the Cincinnati Reds, stopping by here in the top half of the second inning.
And the reason that I ask you that, John, is you look at St. Louis and you look at the 4 guys that they have down there in their bullpen with Franklin, they've got Russ Springer, they've got Troy Percival, and they've got Isringhausen. All of those guys have really shortened the ball game to take over for their starters' ineptitude. Now, in this ballpark that the Reds play in, if they had that type of bullpen that could come in earlier on an every other day basis and use a different group each day, do you think that would give them a little bit better chance?
Oh, yeah.
Popped up to Votto, and that will end the inning. John, thanks as always, my friend.
A little bit of slice of heaven, man. Thank you.
Reds batting in the last of the second inning, holding a 2-0 lead over John Maine and the Mets on a 2-run home run by Brandon Phillips. First pitch swinging, a number off the end of the bat by Valentine to the third baseman Wright, who throws him out 1 away. It's time now for our Cincinnati Bell trivia question of the game. Thanks to the Reds Hall of Fame staff for our question, and here it is.
Okay.
How many games did Mets ace Dwight Gooden win in the Mets' 7-game World Series victory over the Boston Red Sox in 1986? How many did Doc Gooden win? Was it A, none, B, 1, or C, 2? A, none, B, 1, C, 2.
What year?
1986. A high pop-up by Edwin Encarnacion into short left field. Gotay calls off David Wright. And 3 pitches, and there are 2 men out here in the Reds' second inning. You want to take a stab at it, Cowboy?
2.
All right, you say 2. I'm going to say none.
Well, that was my 2 guesses, either 0 or 2.
All right. Use your Cincinnati Bell wireless phone to text message your answer of A, B, or C to Marty, 62789, or enter via the contest page on 700WLW.com. You can win a pair of tickets to an upcoming game, or maybe a pair of tickets to opening day 2008 from Cincinnati Bell. The answer to our question will be coming up during the 8th inning.
If this wasn't multiple choice, I might not even have an answer.
Well, you guessed 3 right from the start. You had 3 fingers up. Here's Joey Votto.
That was
count
just,
of 1
that was
and
just
1.
for you and me, not for everybody else.
Oh, sure it was. High fly ball. Straight away center field. And Joey Votto has hit one off the batter's eye in straightaway center field. His first major league hit in his first major league start is his first major league home run scored, and RBI. Welcome to the major leagues, Joey Votto. Holy Moses, was that ball hammered?
I'll show you hit me 8. How do you like me now? Woo-hoo. My goodness. That ball hit the black stuff out there. I don't know what that is, but it hit it dead away center field. That is a long way out there.
My, oh my, did the ball jump off his bat? I mean, soon as it made contact, Carlos Beltran barely even turned around.
He didn't have time.
That was just a missile.
That ball went over his head like a dead-gum rocket.
So Joey Votto, a home run to straightaway center field that crashes into the batter's eye, the base of the building belonging to Cincinnati Bell out in straightaway center field. My, oh my. 3-2 the count now on Tom Shern. And a ground ball foul over by the third base dugout. Again this season, Western and Southern Financial Group wants to strike out cancer all year long. Every time a Reds pitcher strikes out a batter, Western and Southern will make a donation to the Barrett Cancer Center. As Western and Southern says, when it comes to fighting cancer, we're all in this one together. A little roller up the third base line, fielded by David Wright. He'll throw to first, and that will end the inning. Well, Joey Votto becomes the 3rd Reds player this season to hit a home run as his first career hit in the big leagues. Josh Hamilton did it back on the 10th of April in Arizona off Edgar Gonzalez. Ryan Jorgensen on the 15th of August at Wrigley Field against Chicago left-hander Rich Hill. And now here on September the 5th, Joey Votto against New York right-hander John Maine at Great American Ballpark. The Reds with a 3-0 lead as the Mets come to bat here in inning number 3. It'll be DeFelice, Maine, and then the leadoff man, Endy Chavez. DeFelice 9 hits and 37 at bats without a home run and 5 runs batted in. Shern is not allowed a hit. He did walk 2 batters in the second inning. And a pitch on the way is outside for ball 1. So quite an impressive first 2 innings for Joey Votto. He was on the back end of a double play in the top of the second inning when he fielded a ground ball from Alex Gonzalez to get an out at first, and then threw out Beltran trying to go first to third on the back end. And then Votto homers in the bottom of the inning. And now with a play-by-play here in inning number 3. You should have taken an oar and just jabbed me in the ribs, is Jeff Brantley.
Thank you, Tom. I tell you what, Joey Votto hit that ball about 6 inches off the ground and smoked it away to dead center field. A ground ball over to Phillips, flips on to Votto, and there's one down.
Get him, Cowboy.
That's all right. This is a position that Tom Shern found himself in last time. A lead early in the ball game, and he let it slip away. And today, if he wants to win number 2, he's got to make sure that he keeps the Mets in check. Pitcher spot coming to the plate in John Maine. DeFelice out 4-3 to start the third inning here for the Mets. That pitch on the outside corner, a fastball by Tom Shern. Fastball, slider, changeup, and the over-the-top curve. Fastball, and he gets it in on the hands of the pitcher, John Maine. Fouled off to the right side. 1 ball and 2 strikes. John Maine does have a home run this year. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with a breaking ball, and there's 2 down. Shern keeping the ball down, keeping it away from the hitters as they come to home plate. But the biggest key is that he's keeping the ball down around the kneecaps. And when he misses, he doesn't miss in a place where he can get hurt. And that's what happened to him in his last ball game. When he missed against St. Louis, he missed out over the plate, and they put a pounding on the right-hander. Tom Shern, 30 years old, making his 3rd major league start. 2 down, and here's Endy Chavez back to the top of the Mets order. This will be their 2nd time around. That pitch down in the strike zone for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes to Endy Chavez. Always a threat to bunt. The pitch popped up. Phillips going back. Here comes Hamilton. Hamilton makes the call, makes the catch, and that's the end of the inning. Reds on top of the Mets, 3-0. John Maine, the right-hander for the New York Mets, comes into the ball game with 14 wins, but here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, he finds himself down 3-0 already, and he is back to the top of the order with Josh Hamilton standing at the plate. First pitch to Hamilton, fouled straight back. A fastball from John Maine. Maine 23 strikes, 9 balls, 32 total pitches thus far in the ball game. The right-hander has been pitch efficient, but the Reds have been bat efficient. That pitch in there for a strike, and quickly he's ahead of Hamilton, 0-2. Hamilton hitting .283 with 18 home runs on the year. Maine delivers up and in a fastball at 93 miles an hour. Maine not taking a whole lot of time. Gets the ball and cuts it loose. This pitch down and away. Off-speed pitch. Looked like a changeup or a split finger that ran away from Hamilton, and now the count's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hamilton trying to lead it off for the Reds. Line drive towards left center field, and Beltran's not going to get it. Turning on the afterburners is Hamilton. He'll round second. He's headed for third. The throw, and they're going to get him. Nice throw from Gotay as the ball came in from Beltran, and as Hamilton was rounding second base, it really didn't look like he was going to go, and then he decided to turn up the speed a little bit, and they got him by about a good 3 feet. Double for Hamilton. thrown out 8-6-5, and that's the first out of the inning. Good swing by Hamilton on the 2-2 count, but that's a position that you got to stop at second base. You don't want to make the first or the last out at third base. You don't make any out at third base, if you ask me. Ground ball by Gonzalez, pulled foul down the third base line, first strike. Slider from John Main, and he's got to be happy after that pitch that Hamilton hit that he got an out of it. Reds should have a runner at second base at this point. Fly down the right field line. Here comes Millage running towards the wall. He'll make the catch. And it's foul. He makes the catch anyway. That's a fly ball to right field for the second out. And Millage had to go a long way and makes a fine catch. Catches the ball just on the foul side of the first baseline. Runs into the wall and hangs on. And here's Junior. 2 down. Line drive down the right field line. It's going to be fair, and it's going to go all the way to the corner. Junior rounds second, or rounds first, heading for second, and he'll stop there. A double for Junior. That's his 23rd on the year for Ken Griffey Jr. He struck out his first time up, and he got the first pitch there and ripped it right down the right field line. And that, my friends, is why you don't try to stretch a double into a triple when it's the first batter of the inning. Second base is all right. So Junior aboard with a double, and here comes Brandon Phillips, who hit his 28th home run back in the first inning to right center field. Main checks Griffey at second, and the pitch. Fastball up and in, and it hits Brandon Phillips. Looked like it grazed him right along the wrist. Phillips started to lean out over the plate, and it just did catch him. Looked like it just got the back arm as Phillips tried to stop his swing as he was going forward. So he'll go to first base on a hit by pitch, and here's Dunn. Fastball up and away at 92 miles an hour. And the catcher, DeFelice, holds up his mitt and his open palm towards Maine, telling him to slow down a little bit. Calm down and slow down. Fastball off the plate, 2-0 to Dunn. Dunn struck out his first time up. And the pitch. Off the plate away. 3 consecutive balls to Dunn after a hit by pitch on the first pitch to Brandon Phillips, and the first pitch to Griffey went down the right field line. And that pitch is way outside, and Maine fails to make the adjustment. All of those pitches running towards his arm side, away from Dunn and in on Phillips. And now the bases are loaded for Javier Valentin. 5 consecutive balls out of the strike zone now for John Maine. He had a couple of quick outs by the benefit of the center fielder Beltran running down the double by Josh Hamilton. And as Hamilton tried to stretch it into a triple, he got the ball into Gotay, the shortstop, playing for Reyes today. And Gotay threw a strike to David Wright at third, and they get Hamilton by about 5 feet. So here's Valentin with 2 outs. The pitch off the plate away, and that's 6 consecutive balls, all right around the same spot. Well away from the left-handers. Maine, leg kick and the pitch. Same place, way outside, and that's 7 consecutive balls that John Maine has thrown trying to catch that outside corner, and he's missing by a good foot out there. Maine with the pitch. On the outside corner this time for strike 1, says home plate umpire Bob Davidson. 2 balls and a strike to Javi Valentin. Griffey, Phillips, and done aboard. Line drive, one hopper towards the second baseman, and Castillo pick it up, flips onto first base, and the Reds leave them loaded. Castillo to lead it off here for the Mets in the top half of the fourth. Tom Schern has thrown the ball well so far. The right-hander kicks and delivers. Pitch down but over the plate and called a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Switch hitting Castillo, hitting from the left side, and boy is he pesky from over there. Fakes a bunt, takes the pitch outside for a ball. 2 balls, no strikes. Charging in on the play was the third baseman Encarnacion, and Votto was moving towards the home plate area as well. 2-0 pitch. Fastball inside off the plate. And he has run the count to 3-0 to Castillo. You do not want to walk this guy, not with the likes of David Wright and Beltran waiting on deck. Fastball right down Broadway. Strike 1. 3 balls and a strike to Castillo. Encarnacion still playing quite far in on the grass, and here he comes. He'll barehand this one, fires it to Votto, and Votto can't pick it up out of the dirt. Bad throw from Encarnacion, and on to second base after the error will be Castillo. They'll give him a base hit on the bunt and an error on the advancement to second base. They say Castillo has a little bit of a knee problem. I tell you what, watching him run down the first base line and make that turn, it didn't look like anything was bothering him, except for the dirt flying up from his strikes behind him. So Castillo is aboard. He's automatically in scoring position after the throw down the right field line by Encarnacion, and here's David Wright. Wright stands in, bat held overhead, ready to go. First pitch breaking ball from Schern, outside, ball 1. I thought Encarnacion made a great play to get to the baseball, but when he came up to throw, just didn't quite get the ball on target. 1-0 pitch, down and away, another breaking ball from Schern. 2 balls, no strikes to the right-handed hitting David Wright. 33 doubles, 30 stolen bases, 26 home runs, 91 RBIs. This kid can flat out do it. Swing and a miss on a high heater. 2 balls and a strike. Tom Schern went right after him on that pitch. 50 pitches thus far for Schern, 27 strikes, 23 balls. Few more strikes there, big boy. This pitch on a check swing on a fastball inside. Looked like he fooled David Wright. That was either a fastball, sinker, or something that ran inside. May have been a backup slider the way that David Wright approached it, because he was definitely fooled on the pitch. But for Tom Schern, it evens the count at 2-2. Got a chance to put away David Wright here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the pitch. Just off the inside corner. Good idea from Tom Schern, and he just missed the execution part of that pitch. Close, but no cigar. Full count to David Wright. Castillo at second base takes his lead. Checked him twice in the pitch. Off the plate in, and he walked him. So down to first base goes David Wright. Runners at first and second now for Carlos Beltran. Counting today, Beltran has reached base in 22 consecutive ball games. And out to the mound is Pete McCannon to have a conversation with his starting pitcher, Tom Schern. And I'm sure that this is all about damage control and trying to make sure that he makes the right pitch and makes the Mets swing the bat a little bit and not worry about the error that went down the right field line. We saw this in Schern's last start. He got up 4-1 and ended up making a couple of bad pitches, and before you knew it, the Cardinals had taken the lead, and they had taken the lead for good, and Pete Mackanin does not want that to happen today, especially after the losses that the Reds have put on the board lately. Bunted by Beltran, foul down the third baseline. Not sure if he was trying to sacrifice bunt there or bunt for a base hit, but in either case, the ball was foul, and that's a strike for Tom Schern. 0-1 now as Beltran steps back into the box. He's got a 7-game hitting streak on the line. Walked his first time up. The pitch. Breaking ball hit off the end of the bat and foul. Boy, he had Beltran way out in front of that pitch. Tom Schern throws that curveball, and it's basically a 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock. That ball breaks straight down. Almost, you could almost refer to it as they used to call it the old drop ball. The 0-2 pitch, he fakes back to second base to hold Castillo close. Castillo trots back towards second, and Schern retoes the mound, and he's ready to go. Couple of practice swings from Beltran. Right at first base. Castillo at second. Breaking towards second is Gonzalez, and they try to pick off Castillo. Good throw from Tom Schern. Good tag from Gonzalez. But Castillo gets the hand back in there just underneath the tag. That's the old daylight play. Shortstop breaks towards second. If the pitcher sees daylight between the shortstop and the runner, in between the two, he turns to throw. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike three. He strikes out Beltran with runners in first and second on the curveball. Straight over the top, straight down. Beltran misses it, and there's one down. So now Codine will come to the plate. Grounded out to shortstop his first time up. And now he'll face Tom Schern here with runners at first and second base. Codine, the former Cincinnati Red, as of just a few weeks ago. This ball hit down the left field line and foul. Looked like a breaking ball from Tom Schern, and it stayed over the heart of the plate. And Codine hit it well, but pulled it just foul down the third baseline. Castillo, the speedster, at second base. Right at first base. Slider on the outside corner, and quickly Tom Schern has jumped ahead of Jeff Codine. No balls and 2 strikes. First pitch curveball that Codine jerked foul. That pitch was a slider right on the outside corner. No balls and 2 strikes, 1 out. Tom Schern trying to wiggle himself out of trouble. He's only given up 1 hit thus far this afternoon, and that was on a drag bunt to start this inning by Castillo. The pitch. Just off the plate away. A fastball barely missing by Schern. And that's one of those pitches where you either lock the hitter up or you just barely missed. And for Schern's case here, he just did miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Curveball hit high into the air towards center field. Hamilton makes the catch, rears back and rifles it all the way to third base in the air, and Luis Castillo just stands at second base and watches. No way he was going to try to tag there. And after a throw like that, let's take a station ID here on the Cincinnati Reds Radio Network.
The heat continues in the tri-state in the 90s through Friday. Maybe some rain tomorrow through Saturday. Right now, 90 degrees at your official weather station. News Radio 700 WLW Cincinnati.
So this will put Ruben Gotay at the plate, with runners still stranded at first and second base in Wright and Castillo, respectively. Castillo started it all off with the drag bunt. And the pitch to go tie is in there for a strike. A changeup right on the outside corner. And Tom Shern seems to have control of all of his pitches today. He's used them all in the strike zone, but the main ingredient is he has kept that baby down. The pitch, breaking ball, back door, right on the corner. That's one of those pitches that you can't swing at because you think it's out of the strike zone. You can't hit it because it's too good, and you just have to take it, and it's going to end up being a strike. No balls and 2 strikes to go tie. 2 down. The pitch. Curveball inside, bounces in front of home plate, and Valentin does a great job to block it right out in front. Boy, what a throw from Josh Hamilton on the fly ball from Jeff Conine into center field. Grabbed that ball and with one step rifled it all the way to third base in the air to Encarnacion. Line drive right at the first baseman, Votto. That's the end of the Mets side of the inning. Reds still on top of the Mets. 3-zip after 3.5. Reds on top of the Mets. In the third game of this 3-game series, the Reds have lost the first 2. And this afternoon ball game, the Reds have jumped out on top 3-0 against 14-game winner John Maine. Encarnacion hits this ball a ton towards left center field. Going back is Beltran. Not going to get there. Off the wall. Thrown in by Chavez, and that is a stand-up double that almost touched the moon for Encarnacion. My goodness, he hit that ball high. Right off the wall, just to the side of the bullpen, right off the WLW sign there in left center field. Bounced right back to Indy Chavez. He got it in a hurry, but not before Encarnacion walks into second base. A leadoff double for the Reds, and here's Votto. Fastball down and away, strike 1. Votto took a pitch down and in, and he hit it dead center field out of the ballpark for his first major league hit, a dinger. Inside, moving the feed, is John Maine, a fastball right at 93 miles an hour and right at the right calf of Joey Votto. Votto stands in. That pitch well outside. 2 balls and a strike. We have heard all about the stories of Joey Votto and have awaited his arrival here in Cincinnati. Supposedly the first baseman of the future for this franchise, and he can flat swing the bat. That pitch on the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the left-handed hitting Votto. Maine comes to the set quickly, and the pitch down and away. All fastballs from John Maine thus far to Joey Votto in this at bat. And he has run the string all the way out. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And here comes the pitch to Votto. Down and away, and he walked him. So Encarnacion doubles, Votto walks, and here's the pitcher, Tom Shern. And Shern is yet to get down a sacrifice bunt in his short couple of starts here in the big leagues thus far, as he has made his debut here in 2007. He'll be asked to sacrifice here. The pitch, he bunts it towards third base. It's a great bunt. Picking it up is David Wright. The only play he's got is to throw it to first base, and Louis Castillo covers, and that is a successful sacrifice bunt by Tom Shern. Exactly what you want to do. Bunt the ball hard towards the third baseman with a runner at second base, make him catch the ball, and make it where he has no play except you at first base, and that's exactly what Shern did. Moves the runners over, and here's Josh Hamilton with 1 out. Pitch fouled off down the left field line. A fastball at 94 up in the eyes of Josh Hamilton, and he tries to hit it out the other way. Maine comes to the set quickly. The pitch, line drive into center field. Votto being waved home, and he is on his horse, and he will score easily. It is 5-0 Reds. Josh Hamilton with RBIs number 44 and 45. And he has put the Reds out in front, Hawaii 5-0. So John Maine, he has thrown good pitches. He has made good pitches. Had a little difficulty in the middle of the ball game locating the fastball away from the left-handers, but the Reds have done quite a good job putting the ball in play on a line. Hamilton at first base. Here's Gonzalez. Fastball up and in, and that's a ball. One ball and no strikes to Alex Gonzalez. Right-hander Maine from the stretch delivers. Breaking ball misses inside. 2 balls and no strikes. The pitch from Maine. Another fastball way up and in. And I tell you what, John Maine has really left the ball on his arm side, which is up and into right-handers, down and away from left-handers, pretty much the entire ball game. That has been his Achilles heel. The pitch on the inside corner for a strike. And Maine has natural movement that runs very similar to a right-handed sinker, running in on the right-handers, but it is running too far today. Right-hander delivers, popped up by Gonzalez down the left field line. Indy Chavez is going to make the catch, and Josh Hamilton will retreat back to first base. And with Hamilton's speed and Chavez's arm out in left field, Hamilton probably could have tagged there and advanced to second base, but with a 5-run lead and Griffey coming up, why not take the chance with 2 outs and let him hit 593 and score you at the same time? Junior takes the first pitch on the outside corner for strike 1. 2 down. Hamilton is at first base. The Reds have put 2 on the board. They lead 5-0. John Maine, the pitch, that is in there for strike 2. 2 consecutive fastballs that he's thrown right down Broadway, and Griffey's taken them both. Griffey steps out. Maine steps off the backside of the rubber. Now he's ready. Comes to the set in the stretch and the pitch. Up and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. John Maine a little bit frustrated with himself as he snaps the ball back from Mike DeFelice. The pitch. Line drive down the right field line, and it goes into the seats foul. Encarnacion led off the inning with a double. Maine walked Votto. Tom Shern sacrificed them both over 1 base apiece. Josh Hamilton singled them both home. That puts the Reds up 5-0. This ball fouled off to the left side into the seats. And warming up for the Mets in their bullpen, Willie Collazo. And John Maine Came into the ball game 14-8 with a 3.57 earned run average. That pitch is up, and it is ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Maine is having a difficult time today. Junior with the pitch fouls this one off once again. A fastball up and in at 93 miles an hour, and Junior just does get a piece of it. Junior at the plate, Phillips on deck, 2 down, runner at first base in Hamilton. The pitch popped up again and foul behind home plate, and Junior's trying to hang in there and trying to get him a pitch he likes. 592 career home runs for Ken Griffey Jr. You look up and down the Hall of Fame list, the career list, and Griffey's all over it offensively. This ball hit up the middle. Looked like it was off the glove of Maine. The shortstop, Gotay, picks it up, throws on to first. And that's the end of the bottom of the 4th, but not before the Reds put 2 more on the board. They lead the Mets 5-zip. So the right-hander Tom Shern getting ready for his 5th inning of work. The Reds lead 5-0. Shern has only given up 1 hit thus far, and back with the play-by-play, here's Tom Brenneman.
All righty, Cowboy, thank you very much. 5 runs, 7 hits for the Reds. As Jeff mentioned, Shern has shut him out on only 1 hit. Latter third in the batting order. Lastings Millage to start things. He looks at ball 1 low and away. Again this year, you can email us during home games with your questions and or comments via the internet at mtj@redsonradio.com. Thanks to Cincinnati Bell, bringing you technology solutions tailored to meet the ever-changing business world. 1-1 on Millage, who popped up to Joey Votto, ending the 2nd inning. Millage, a very talented young player, a right-handed batter, and a swing and a foul ball out of play off to the first base side. The Reds got 2 in the 1st inning on a home run by Brandon Phillips. A solo blast from Joey Votto in the 2nd. Left him loaded in the 3rd, didn't score, but in the 4th inning, a double by Encarnacion, a walk to Votto, a good bunt by Shern, and then a 2-run single off the bat of Josh Hamilton. Reds fans, are you feeling lucky? We'll play the Ohio Lottery's Reds-Indians $5 instant game. You can win up to $100,000, and even if you strike out, you're not out. Send in any non-winning Reds-Indians ticket for one of the 4 second chance drawings. Odds are you'll have a good time. Here's a 1-2 to Millage, and a breaking ball is in the dirt away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. DeFelice stands on deck, and then the pitcher, John Maine. A bright, sunny, warm, no, it's hot Wednesday afternoon at Great American Ballpark in downtown Cincinnati. Great to have you with us. Hope you're enjoying your day so far, whatever's going on. There's a fly ball off the end of the bat into left center field. It'll chase Hamilton shy of the track, and onto the track he'll make the over-the-shoulder catch. 1 away. Here's today's Pepsi scoreboard stumper, brought to you by Pepsi Cola. Pepsi, it's the cola. And we'll give that to you here in just a minute as they throw up on the scoreboard our cast music download of the game. And unquestionably, the choices being Brad Paisley, Ticks, Burnin' Love by Elvis, or Hey Baby by No Doubt. The Cowboy would go with Burnin' Love from the King. Swung on and fouled out of play to the first base side. Off the bat of DeFelice, 0-1. Tom Shern throwing the ball extremely well for the 2nd time in his 3 big league starts. 30 years old, this right-hander. And waited low those many years to get a shot in the major leagues. A soft pop up into right field. Phillips cannot get it. It'll fall over his head into right field, a base hit. So DeFelice with a 1-out bleeder into right center field. And here's John Maine, the New York pitcher. Maine struck out his first time up, 6 hits and 48 at bats. Has a home run and 3 runs batted in. Today's game is brought to you in part by Kroger. When you're low on groceries, you can count on Kroger to fill your cart. But Kroger can fill up your tank too. The Kroger Fuel Center. It's convenient and a great way to save money. Maine has to put down a bunt and fouls it off. That got a piece of Javier Valentin, and he's in some pain, down on one knee and now down on both knees behind home plate. That ball hit Javi. It looked like in the chest, but maybe he was trying to sneak in that bare throwing hand and perhaps even got a piece of that on the foul ball from the bat of John Maine. Encarnacion 3 steps in on the grass at third, now charging hard as Maine squares and bunted to Edwin. He scoops it up, he'll play to first, and they get the out there. Give Maine the sacrifice, advancing DeFelice on to second, and there are 2 out in the inning. So a runner in scoring position. The Reds leading 5-0 here in the top of the 5th inning. And we roll over to the leadoff man, Endy Chavez. He has bounced to third and flied out to Josh Hamilton in center field. The Reds will enjoy an off day at home tomorrow. Boy, it's been a while since we've had one of those on the home front. And then the Milwaukee Brewers come to town, and will they arrive as National League Central Division leaders starting Friday night? They're only a half game out of first going into play tonight. The Brewers will be at home against Houston after winning last night. The Cubs, the division leaders, have lost the first 2 games of their series at home against the Dodgers. They'll play later on as well. There's a swing and a foul ball out of play off to the third base side, 0-1 to Chavez. And the Cardinals are now only 1 game behind. And they will play later at Busch Stadium against the Pittsburgh Pirates. The top 2 teams in the West meet later tonight. Arizona defeating San Diego last night. And those 2 teams are tied for the National League's Western Division lead and the National League wild card lead. There's a breaking ball down and in. 1-1 on Endy Chavez. Our Pepsi scoreboard stumper. 4 pitchers have each saved 25 or more games and struck out 90 or more batters in a season while playing for the Reds. Who are they? Well, 2 of them for sure off the top of your head. As Chavez dribbles one out in front of the plate, Shern picks it up, throws in time, and that'll end the inning. So Tom Shern cruising. 1 hit, 1 left. He's allowed 2 hits and shut him out through 4.5. The Reds lead 5-0. Brandon Phillips to lead things off against John Maine in the 5th inning. And he takes outside ball 1. Phillips a 2-run home run in the 1st inning and hit by a pitch in the 3rd. It's time for the U.S. Bank back-to-back cashback home run inning if the Reds hit back-to-back home runs this inning. As Phillips hits a fly ball into right field that will stay in the ballpark. Millage underneath it. He's got it 1 away. Jenna Gresham of Highland Heights, Kentucky would win $10,000 courtesy of U.S. Bank. Now, to be eligible for the next back-to-back cashback home run inning, stop by any participating U.S. Bank location for an official entry or mail a postcard to U.S. Bank back-to-back cashback. 8044 Montgomery Road, Suite 650, Cincinnati, Ohio, 45236. So Jenna, let's see if Dunn and Valentin could go back-to-back and stick $10,000 in your pocket thanks to U.S. Bank. Ball 1 to Dunn, who has struck out and drawn a walk. High fly ball down the right field line. Hit a ton, but that ball is bending foul. Again this year, AK Steel is giving back to the community by contributing its Reds on Radio airtime to some of the fine organizations that serve our community because AK Steel cares about our community. One on Adam Dunn. And a check swing on a pitch that floats low and away. A changeup, 2 balls and a strike. 5 runs, 7 hits for the Reds. No runs, 2 hits for the New York Mets. 5-0 to score as well in Atlanta. Philadelphia over Tim Hudson and the Braves. That fastball sails up and away. 3 balls and a strike. And there's ball 4 to Adam Dunn. He's walked for the 2nd time today. The Reds on Radio brought to you in part by United Dairy Farmers. Try a cold-fashioned malt at UDF. Doesn't get any better than that. 24-ounce UDF malts and shakes on sale for $1.99. including UDF's world-famous chocolate malt. Dairy Fresh, Dairy Fun, United Dairy Farmers, and Siggy. Bill Seg Dennison will probably knock down about 2 or 3 of those later tonight. The chocolate malt. Here's Javier Valentin done running, and there's a base hit down the right field line. Millings over to cut it off. And on to third base goes Adam Dunn, so the Reds play a little hit and run with Valentin at the plate. And he singles into right field. Runners are on the corners with only 1 out for Edwin Encarnacion. It has not been a good day at all for John Mayne. He's walked 3, he's hit a batter, allowed 5 runs and 8 hits, and the Reds are banging on the door and looking for more. Back to school means back to half-price tickets for all students to all Reds home games in this month of September. Now, students just show your school ID, a hat, a shirt, anything else school-related, and you'll receive half-price tickets in selected seating areas. Show your school spirit, show your Red spirit. They're available at the ticket windows at Great American Ballpark or by logging on to Reds.com, and we'll see you here. The Reds have 6 games remaining on this homestand and then 6 on the final homestand, and that's it for the 2007 year. Strike 1 to Encarnacion with runners on the corners and 1 out. The Reds a 5-0 lead here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Encarnacion started to and then decided to hold off a breaking ball away from him. Edwin has popped to short and doubled to left center. He scored a run back in the 4th inning on the 2-run single by Josh Hamilton. Joey Votto waits on deck. Here's a 1-1 pitch and a breaking ball again, and again Encarnacion does not chase it. 2-1. Encarnacion has that batting average now up to .281. 20 doubles, 11 home runs, 58 runs batted in. Dunn at third, Valentin at first. And a breaking ball is pulled foul into the second deck out of play off to the third base side.
Tell you what, Tom, if he gives him a fastball down and in, that's the one pitch Encarnacion can hit forever.
And here it comes. It's a breaking ball low and away. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So does he challenge Edwin with a fastball here with Votto standing in the on-deck circle?
Well, I think he has to. I think you have to challenge the guys that are at the bottom of the order. I think you have to make them swing the bat. The last thing you want to do is get back up to the top.
3-2 on Edwin. And a base hit diving to try and get it was right, but it's into left field. A base hit and an RBI for Encarnacion. Give him 59 runs batted in. His second base hit today. On to second base goes Valentin with Dunn scoring. And the Reds now lead 6-0, and that's going to do it for John Mayne. Well, this talented young right-hander having an outstanding year just did not have it today.
He really didn't, Tom. Every pitch was up or running out of the strike zone. That ball there was supposed to be a breaking ball, which he usually throws well, and it just flat out hung right in the middle of the strike zone.
So only 4 1/3 innings today for John Mayne. The Reds have 2 on with 1 out, batting here in the bottom of the 5th inning, leading the New York Mets 6-0. Joey Votto, the batter, with a count of 1-0 as the Mets go to their bullpen, and they bring on Willie Collazo, a left-hander who just came up from New Orleans on September the 1st. And this is his major league debut. 1-1 to Votto, a swing and a miss. And I'd have to believe that Votto saw this guy in AAA sometime this year.
No doubt about it.
Votto, what a first start in the major leagues. A home run to straightaway center. He's also walked and scored a run, and now a hit into left field. They're going to hold Valentin at third as that ball was fired in by Andy Chavez. So the beat goes on for Mr. Votto in his first major league start. A homer, a walk, a run scored, and now a single against a left-handed reliever.
Well, I think if there's a question mark as to whether Votto feels comfortable against left-handers, I think it was answered right there, because Collazo has that low 3/4, almost sidearm delivery, and for most left-handers, they tend to bail out. Votto did the exact opposite and drives it the other way.
So they're loaded for Tom Shern, and this is a ground ball double play all the way. Second is short to first, and that will end the inning. The Reds get a run 3 hits, 2 men left, and a 5. Time now to answer our scoreboard stumper. 4 pitchers with 25 or more saves struck out 90 or more batters in the same season for the Reds in their history. Norm Charlton did it in 1992. Rob Dibble did it the same year. Doug Baer back in 1978, and Rendell Kirk Myers in the championship season of 1990. Actually, Rob Dibble did it twice. He did it also in 1991. Our broadcast is brought to you in part by Pepsi Cola. Pepsi, it's the cola. Luis Castillo down a strike and now down 2 as he fouls it off to the third base side. And what a game it has been today for the 30-year-old rookie right-hander Tom Schern. He has shut out the New York Mets on just 2 base hits. A bunt single by this man Castillo in the 4th, and a broken bat flare into right center field by DeFelice in the 5th. That's been it. He's walked 2 batters, I beg your pardon. No, 3, 2 in the 2nd, and then David Wright in the 4th.
And I tell you what, Tom, with Encarnacion playing in on that bunt, he still had a play to get Castillo at first base, albeit a very difficult play.
Swing and a miss by Castillo. The ball gets away from Valentin. He picks it up and tags him out.
Tom Schern looks like he came to the ballpark meaning business today.
Well, you know, Jeff, one thing you notice, 2 things you notice right away. He's going to throw strikes, which tells you and even more importantly, he ain't afraid.
I know it. And when you talk to him, and you talk about the games and who he's facing and all that, you know what? I'm 30 years old. I'm in the big leagues. I'm up here to do one thing, and that's to win.
Fastball is outside to David Wright, who is grounded out to short and drawn a walk. 1-0 to David Wright.
I don't have any problem with late bloomers as long as they bloom.
That one taken down low, 2 balls and no strikes. You ain't lying.
You know? And I don't care what color the flowers are, as long as they get the job done.
You sound like a romantic sort of fellow when you talk that way. I'm sure your wife Ashley appreciates that very, very much.
Well, I do have a sensitive side, I guess, you know.
For a cowboy.
For a cowboy.
Much like Gene Autry and John Wayne and you know, so many of the legendary Cowboys, and you would fall right in line.
Oh, goodness. Country boy can't survive.
1 pitch. Fly ball into right center field. Hamilton will run it down, and that's the 2nd out of the inning. Today's game brought to you in part by JTM. Now, Reds fans, this back-to-school season, make sure to grab a bag of JTM's Beef Philly kits or their Beef Hoagie kits, now in new resealable orange bags. JTM, more of what you're hungry for. 2 down for Schern here in the top of the 6th inning. The Reds with a 6-0 lead. The only inning they failed to score, they left the bases loaded. That was in the 3rd. And there's ball 1 low and away to Carlos Beltran. Beltran has walked and struck out against Schern today. The right-hander doesn't fool around out there. He gets the ball and goes right at him. A fastball just under the knees. 2 balls and no strikes.
And the Reds would have scored in that 3rd inning, Tom, had Josh Hamilton not gotten thrown out trying to stretch a double into a triple to lead off the inning.
Yep. There's ball 3 down low to Beltran. Man, Schern not missing by much. I mean, when he misses with a fastball, he is missing by an inch, maybe, just under the knees. 3-0 now to Beltran, a fastball that's right down the middle, 3-1.
And I think those are the places that you want to miss. You want to miss just a little bit off here or a little bit off there, but you don't want to miss by a good 1.5 or you won't get a call.
Swinging a foul ball back out of play through another fastball, 3-1, and why not when you have a 6-0 lead?
Well, Tom Schern hides the ball well, and he's got a little bit of just a little tweak in his delivery that looks a little bit different, and it's hard to pick the baseball up.
3-2 to Beltran is a line drive into center field. That'll be a 2-out single for the Mets center fielder, just their 3rd hit against the Reds right-hander Schern today. Today's game brought to you in part by Kroger. Playing 162 games can really test your endurance. Shopping at Kroger won't. It's the right star for one-stop shopping. A runner at first with 2 men out, and Jeff Conine now the batter. Conine in his return to Cincinnati has bounced out to the shortstop, but turned into a double play when after the throw was made from Gonzalez to Votto. Votto fired across the diamond to Encarnacion to cut down Beltran, trying to go first to third on the ground ball. And then Conine lined out to Josh Hamilton in the 4th inning. And a high pop up off to the first base side and out of play, evens a count of a ball and a strike on Conine.
You know, you were doing that promo on the Kroger grocery store. When we came to Cincinnati, that's the first thing Ashley said. She said, "Wait till you see the Kroger."
Well, this is their hometown right here, Kroger.
It was huge.
Based right here in Cincinnati, one of a number of Fortune 500 companies we have right here.
Hey, where y'all at? Oh, we're at the Kroger. What are you doing? Oh, we're just walking around.
Here's a strike in there, 1-2 to Conine. So do you go hang out over there and wear like a cowboy hat and a pair of jeans and a cowboy boots and your button-down shirt? And
I do wear my jeans and my cowboy
Wranglers,
boots.
right?
No. I can't wear Wranglers. They don't fit me right.
1-2. And there's a one-hopper, short hopped in backhanded fashion by Phillips. He'll flip to Gonzalez for the first play, and that will end the inning. Reds come to bat here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Norris Hopper will come on at bat for Josh Hamilton, and on the very first pitch he sees from Willie Collazo, he bangs one into right field, a base hit by Hopper. It looked like Hamilton injured himself, catching a line drive off the bat of Lastings Millage back in the 5th inning, and if we hear anything, we'll let you know. So Hopper a base hit.
How about Hopper? He's been just sitting over there for 5 innings, comes off the bench, first pitch, whack, I'm on. Somebody drive me in, I'm ready.
They'll draw a throw from Collazo, sending it back to the bag, and here's Alex Gonzalez. Alex today 1 for 2, has singled, scored, and flied out to left. One of 3, I beg your pardon. He flied out to left his last at bat in the 4th inning. Here's a pitch on the way, and it's outside. Here's news from the front office brought to you by our friends at Old Spice, and we plug the Reds Community Fund along with Children's Hospital. The big event taking place tonight, a swing and a miss by Gonzalez. Ken Griffey Jr. Stars and Strikes for Kids Celebrity Bowl from 7 p.m. to 10 o'clock tonight out at AMF Kingpen Lanes on Beachmont Avenue. 21 of Griffey's teammates and coaches will participate. Marvin Lewis, the head coach of the Bengals, will be on hand. Hall of Fame running back Thurman Thomas, All-Pro running back Ricky Waters, D. Brown of the NBA, current NBA All-Stars Chris Paul and Dwight Howard, and some of the PBA stars. So it'll be a big, big night.
Can you bowl?
I like bowling. I think it's fun.
I love it.
I think you have a great time with a family or friends and
really
get out
do.
there and just have a ball. As you might not know, Mr. Brantley, I used to be a bowling play-by-play man here in town on the Hudipole King of TV Bowling.
Really?
Getting up
I did not
back
know that.
in the late 1980s at about 4 o'clock in the morning on Sunday morning after a
Look out.
Saturday. There's a swing and a miss, and the bat goes flying over the Mets' third base side dugout into the stands. And thankfully, everybody is all right. Alex Gonzalez looking over there to make sure they're all right. And now Alex looking for a new bat. And Encarnacion fires one to him from the Reds dugout.
And then Gonzalez motions for Encarnacion to go over there on the other side and get his bat.
Right.
Too funny.
Well, I think Gonzalez would like his bat back. And they're talking to some of the fans first and foremost to make sure that they are all right. But Alex is going to go ahead and and use this new piece of lumber with a 3-2 count. And the pitch is inside, ball 4. So Collazo has allowed a single to Hopper and now a walk to Gonzalez. Listen up, guys. Did you know that scent is the strongest sense tied to memory? Be remembered with a smile thanks to Old Spice Red Zone Body Spray, now in 5 great scents that all last longer than the leading body spray. Ken Griffey Jr. settles in. 1 of 3, he doubled back in the 3rd inning and looks at a strike from Collazo. The Reds with a 6-0 lead. They have Marcus Macbeth getting loose in the bullpen. Tom Shern up over the 90 pitch mark through 6 innings here today. And there's a roller foul off to the first base side in front of the Reds dugout. Philip Humber, a right-hander, loosens for the New York Mets in their bullpen beyond the right field line. Hopper at first, Gonzalez the runner at second. And Collazo ahead of Griffey at 0-2, and a breaking ball misses in.
Well, Collazo really drops down on some of the pitches he delivers to home plate. And that has got to be difficult to control the strike zone when you drop that far down on a pitch.
There's a roller up a third base line that scoots foul. Cowboy, how many drinks you got working over there?
I got a bunch of them.
I mean, every time I look over, you're pouring from one cup to another cup.
Well, the ice
and
gets
spilling stuff all over the place.
Ice gets a little watery, and I like my stuff cold.
There's a pop-up to the right side. In foul ground, it'll be Conine, and that is out number 1 in the Reds' 6th inning.
I don't drink coffee. You know, I got to have some other way to get a little caffeine.
Drinking that ice-cold Pepsi.
You got that right.
Brandon Phillips now the batter. With 2 on and 1 out.
Hit. I like watching him hit.
Phillips, a 2-run home run to right center field, his 28th of the year, breaking the record, a Reds record, for home runs in a single season by a second baseman. Phillips and Joe Morgan shared that mark at 27 coming into play today, but Phillips a 2-run home run to right center field in the opening inning for number 28. So Brandon now with 27 stolen bases, 28 home runs. 3 stolen bases, 2 homers from going 30-30. Big swing and a miss.
And I think the last couple of home runs he's had have been shot out of that right center field, and that ought to tell you that's some good swinging of the bat and a good approach from Brandon Phillips.
1-1 the count on Brandon, with Hopper at second, Gonzalez at first in a swing and a foul ball straight back. Let's check scores of other games brought to you by Montgomery Inn. Let the Montgomery Inn cater your next big party. Call 513-852-6733 for more information. Tim Hudson and the Braves getting roughed up early and often against Philadelphia. That game in the bottom of the 3rd inning at Turner Field. And the Phillies with a 5-0 lead. Ground ball down to 3rd. Wright will go to 2nd for 1. There's a turn, and that's a double play to retire the side. 1 hit, 1 left. End of 6. The Reds 6, the Mets nothing.
Marcus Macbeth on the mound, the right-hander. He has spent a little time in the big leagues earlier this year. He's got a good fastball and was sent back down to Louisville to work on the breaking ball. And this kid can throw strikes. The big key for him is to mix in that breaking ball just ever so often. If he can do that, he will be a successful pitcher. I believe he will be on the staff next year in 2008 if he is not traded somewhere else. First pitch is in there for a strike as he faces Ruben Gotay. Gotay playing shortstop today, played second base last night, and they've got this switch hitter in the lineup because he can flat out swing it. Off-speed pitch up and away. 1 ball and 1 strike to Ruben Gotay. Reds on top 6-0. Mets have only managed 3 hits thus far. Swing and a miss on a changeup from Marcus Macbeth, and that was a good pitch right there from the right-hander. Macbeth, when he was here before, was predominantly fastball and changeup, but he needs that slider from a right-handed perspective, and that pitch is a fastball inside, just missing on the inside corner. He had difficulty putting away right-handers, and a lot of that was because he could not get the slider to break off the plate. He threw it too many times for a strike. Almost throwing too many pitches for a strike, if you can believe that. Gotay hits this ball on the nose, but it's dead away center to Norris Hopper. He'll make the catch, and there's 1 down. So with 1 out, that'll bring to the plate Lastings Milledge, the perennial prospect for the New York Mets. Can play just about every outfield position that the Mets have. Young player, still learning the trade at the big league level, but he has got all the talent in the world. Milledge stands in against Marcus Macbeth with 1 out. Fastball, swing and a miss at 92 miles an hour right on the outside corner. When you talk about throwing the fastball at the hollow of the knee, that's Marcus Macbeth. That's where his fastball comes in at. Right at the bottom of the strike zone. The pitch fouled off. Another fastball right on the outside corner. And when I look at pitching, I like to see a pitcher be able to locate his fastball away from arm side, down and away for a right-hander. You can do that, then you can throw a slider in the same spot. Just a little grip change and you got it. The 0-2 pitch from Macbeth. We'll see what this pitch is here. Changeup down into the dirt. Nice block by Valentine. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Lastings Milledge. Milledge came into the ball game hitting .288 with 4 home runs and 22 RBIs. He is 0 for today. The 1-2 pitch. Another changeup, bounces way out in front of home plate. And now Milledge is back in the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pitching out of the stretch is Macbeth. He'll kick and deliver. This pitch is down in the strike zone. That was a fastball, ran all the way across the plate. And this is where Macbeth ran into trouble earlier this year. He'd get ahead quickly in the count and had difficulty putting the hitters away, and now he's run the count back to 3-2. Started out 0-2, now he's at 3-2. That cannot happen on a regular basis. The pitch, and he walked him. You get a hitter down 0-2, you want to put him away right then, right there. So Lastings Milledge is aboard. 6-0, Reds on top. Mets trying to do anything they can to get a runner across home plate, and here's DeFelice. The pitch hit off the end of the bat and foul. Another good fastball at 91 miles an hour from Macbeth. Macbeth will check the runner at first base in Milledge. The leg kick and the pitch. Got that pitch in there, an off-speed pitch on the inside corner. And once again, Marcus Macbeth is ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. We'll see what he does here with DeFelice. You do not want to let the hitter back in the count. Put him away here or on the next pitch, but don't let him back in with 2 balls. DeFelice stands in at home plate. The 0-2 pitch forthcoming from Macbeth, and here it is. Ground ball pulled foul. That was a breaking ball from Macbeth, and it hung in the middle of the strike zone, and getting out in front of it was DeFelice. He didn't hit it really that hard, but he hit it hard enough to pull it foul down the third baseline. Macbeth looks in for the sign, comes to the set at the belt. The pitch. Fastball hit foul, and DeFelice really reached after that pitch. Well off the plate, away from the right-handed hitting catcher. Catching today for Paul LaDuca, who was the unchallenged hero of last night's ball game with 2 3-run homers and another RBI with a single. He was 3 for 4 on the night with 7 RBIs. LaDuca was. Another 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3, and he gets DeFelice on the breaking ball. 2 outs. And now Sean Green will come in to pinch hit, and let's pause for station ID here on the Cincinnati Reds Radio Network.
More hot weather for us in the tri-state in the 90s through Friday. A chance of rain tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday. It's 95 degrees at your official weather station. News Radio 700 WLW, Cincinnati.
Sean Green stands in, runner at first base, 2 down. Marcus Macbeth, fastball, outside corner, and that's a strike. Left-hander hitting Sean Green usually starts in right field. Today with the day off. Day game after a night game. Swing and a miss, strike 2 on the changeup. And Macbeth has a good one. Telling you, this kid has all the makings of a quality pitcher. He's just got to get that breaking ball a little bit more consistent, and he will be heading right down the right direction. Again, he's ahead 0-2. Sean Green, the batter. The pitch. Ground ball right back to Macbeth. He'll flip underhanded to Votto, and that's the end of the 7th for the Mets. Reds on top, 6-0. He's drafted by the Yankees and then has moved to the Mets in the first round of the 2004 draft. 2001 was when he was drafted by the Yankees, so the New York teams really wanted this cat. And he can flat out bring it. 35-8 was his career record at Rice University, a 2.80 ERA. Led the Rice Owls to the 2003 National Championship at Omaha. And when they talk about dogpiling on the mound, I was there to witness that one. Humber, the right-hander. First pitch is inside to Adam Dunn. Reds on top, 6-0. Humber asked to quiet the Red bats, and that today, my friends, will be no easy task. Dunn does not have a hit today, but he has walked twice and scored once. This pitch fouled off. 2 balls and a strike to Adam Dunn. Dunn hitting .266 on the year, 36 home runs. He's got a chance to hit 40 home runs in 4 consecutive years, and this ball is hit like a missile down the right field line. He'll round first and head into second base relatively easy, standing up, and that's a double for Dunn, and that's double number 24 for the Reds left fielder. That ball was hit so hard, I don't even think Conine saw it at first base. That ball went by him like a laser. So Dunn hits a hard one down the right field line. He'll stand at second base with no outs. And here's Javier Valentin with an RBI chance right off the bat. Fastball up and away, ball one. Philip Humber was a starter all throughout his college and minor league career. Now in the big leagues, he's pitching out of the bullpen to start with. This pitch jams Valentin, and it's a fly ball towards the shortstop, Gotay. He'll make the catch, and there's one down. Encarnacion will stand in, right-handed hitting third baseman. 2 for 3 on the day, and he has hit the ball hard twice. Doubled and scored, singled back in the 5th inning. First pitch from Philip Humber is a strike on the outside corner. And quickly, Humber jumps ahead. Right-hander checks down at second base. Breaking ball hangs up and in right over the top of the head of Edwin Encarnacion. Encarnacion has really come on in the second half for the Cincinnati Reds, not only from an offensive standpoint, but also from a defensive standpoint. And that almost looked like the same exact pitch, and maybe Humber doesn't like the baseball, but that was another breaking ball that he threw right over the top of the head of Edwin Encarnacion. 2 balls and 1 strike to the right-handed hitting third baseman for the Reds. The pitch, and this is another ball hit down the third base line, and the third base umpire, Randy Marsh, calls it foul. Boy, I tell you what, that ball was hit like a missile. Humber doesn't look like he's fooling a whole lot of batters. The ball by Dunn was hit down the right field line. I don't even think Conine saw it in that pitch there. I don't believe David Wright wanted any part of that one. But it ends up being just a beautiful strike, and now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Encarnacion. The pitch up and in. They'll check with first base umpire Hunter Wendelstedt, and he says no swing, and now the count is full. Dunn at second, first base open. Joey Votto, the young rookie, stands on deck. The pitch hit hard down the left field line. Diving is in Indy Chavez. He's not going to get that one, and trotting home is Adam Dunn, and that's another double for the third baseman Edwin Encarnacion. A double, and he will score. Adam Dunn. The double is number 20 for Encarnacion, RBI number 59. Indy Chavez really didn't have a whole lot of choice but to dive for that baseball. And here's Joey Votto. First pitch, tried to backdoor it is Humber, and that's a ball outside. Tried the old backdoor breaking ball, and he has yet to get that breaking ball over the plate. 1-0 to Joey Votto. The pitch, fastball, and boy, does he take a hack right there. Just does miss it. Ball fouled off the screen right behind home plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. Humber with the pitch. Finally gets that breaking ball in there on the backdoor side. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That is not a pitch that any hitter wants to swing at. It starts off the plate and just does break enough to clip the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Joey Votto, and the pitch. Another outside breaking ball, high and away. Buck Coates is waiting on deck. He would hit in the pitcher's spot. Votto takes this pitch. Nice job of hitting right there. I tell you what, that pitch was right on the hands of Votto. And instead of taking a big swing and popping it straight up, he inside outs it, hits the top of the ball, flips it right over the shortstop's head, and he's aboard. Runners at first and third, and here's Buck Coates. I tell you what, folks, if you're watching Joey Votto, he's facing the New York Mets, and this is a pretty good pitching staff, and the young man has got his third hit of the day. He is 3 for 3. All different types of swings, all different types of putting the ball in play, and one of them landed way out there. Coates takes a swing and fouls it straight back. Boy, you like a kid that comes up to the big leagues and takes the bull by the horns. No fear. Just tells the pitcher, bring that baby up here and let me take a hack. Coach stands in, hits this ball high into the air. Here comes Chavez. I don't know if it's going to be deep enough, and it's not. They will hold Encarnacion. And a quick throw in, blocked by DeFelice at home plate, and that doesn't move anybody. So Coates is out with a fly ball to left field. That's the second out of the inning, and here's Norris Hopper. It's almost as though at the top of the order, Pete McCannon can switch out Josh Hamilton and Norris Hopper, and the beat just keeps on going. Double and a single for Hamilton. Hopper comes into the ball game, singles on the first pitch he sees, and now he stands in for the second time. Breaking ball by Philip Humber. That's a strike on the outside corner. Runners at first and third. Votto at first. Encarnacion at third base, and 2 down. Reds lead 7-zip. Fastball pop foul to the right side, and that ball got in on the hands of Norris Hopper. Reds have had a couple of home runs today, both carrying some significance. The 27th home run, actually 28th home run by Brandon Phillips. That's a strike, and that's the end of the inning. So the Reds go down.
But then it was the series right after the All-Star break, ironically enough in New York, when Pete McCannon made the decision along with Dick Pohl that why not give Jared Burton a chance and let's see what happens. That has been the single best move that has happened to the Reds as far as an individual is concerned in the second half of this season, without a doubt.
No doubt about it.
Received a number of votes for the National League's Rookie of the Month in August when he had a 1.17 ERA in his last 18 appearances. The earned run average is at 1.04, and since the All-Star break, that's a time we talked about a moment ago, his earned run average is 1.7. Fly ball off the bat of Endy Chavez, backing up Norris Hopper into left center, short of the track. He's got it, one away.
Well, you know, the thing that he has mastered, Tom, and well, I probably shouldn't say mastered, but the thing that he's really made the adjustment with is instead of trying to cut every pitch or sink every pitch, every once in a while he's using that four-seam fastball. He uses it to get ahead. He uses it when he has to have it. And the thing about Jared Burton is almost every pitch that he throws is above 90 miles an hour. Very few times do you see the ball dip down into the 80s, maybe an 88 or an 89, but that's about it. I mean, he is flat out overpowering.
A fastball at 93 miles per hour is in there, a strike to Castillo. Castillo 1 for 3 in the game. He had a bunt single back in the fourth inning. The Mets only have a grand total of 3 hits in the entire game. There's a one hopper right back to Burton. And quickly, there are 2 gone. Discover the winning tradition, the Cincinnati Reds and Cons. The official hot dog of the Cincinnati Reds, Cons, Cincinnati's #1 hot dog.
You know, Tom, when you look at Jared Burton and you see how much that he has progressed from day one or are the times that we saw him in spring training, and you and I both recognized what a strong arm that he had. But he has really progressed and really matured from the mental side. I mean, he's very comfortable when he's out there. He's on the attack when he's out there. And I think when you have a guy like that, everybody's going to say, well, he needs something a little bit off speed. Well, no, he doesn't. He doesn't need anything off speed until anybody in this league proves that they can hit what he's throwing up there right now. And so far, they haven't done that.
0-1 the count on David Wright. And a fastball just misses up and away at 94 miles per hour. Wright 0 for 2 has drawn a walk.
Mariano Rivera doesn't throw a changeup. Don't fix it unless it's broke.
1-1 the count on David Wright. And a fastball this time is on the outside corner at 92.
That's money right there. That's just flat out money. You take a right-hander that can put the ball out there.
They're talking about
we're going to fall in love.
Jared Burton with Dick Pohl before the game. He just said there is without a doubt an inner toughness about Jared Burton that you come to realize quickly as you get to know him. This is a tough guy.
And you know, he's not a braggadocio. He's not a very cocky kid. He always sits in the front of the bus. He always, lets the veterans have their place on the plane or on the bus. Very respectful young man. But I tell you what, when he takes the mound, it doesn't matter who's up there at home plate. It could be Babe Ruth. He's going to knock your butt down.
There's a slider on a 2-2 pitch low and away. 3-2 now on David Wright with 2 down, nobody on. The Reds leading 7-0. We are in the top of the 8th inning at Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. And now the payoff pitch coming to Wright. And a fastball misses up and in for ball 4. Today's game is brought to you in part by Budweiser, who salutes America's designated drivers. We all make a difference. So Beltran will bat with a man aboard the second time that Wright has drawn a walk today. And a first pitch fastball grounded foul. Up the first baseline, 0-1 to Beltran, who has walked, struck out, and singled.
You know, Tom, when you have a pitcher that goes out like Burton and throws the strikes that he does, the hitters tell you what kind of look that they're getting at Burton's pitches, and it's not a real good one.
Fastball right down the middle, a strike, 0-2 on Beltran.
I mean, we're talking about some high-end hitters here with Wright, Beltran, Castillo. It's not just some run-of-the-mill group.
Fastball high, 1-2 to Beltran. Reds got 2 in the first on a home run by Brandon Phillips, a solo blast by Joey Votto in the second, a 2-run single by Josh Hamilton in the fourth, an RBI base hit, a single by Encarnacion in the fifth, and then in the seventh inning, a double by Encarnacion. There's a line drive right at the shortstop Gonzalez to end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th. All Reds today. They lead the Mets 7-0. Now the Reds lead 7-0 as they bat here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Alex Gonzalez against Philip Humber. And there's the strike. It is our big payoff inning, sponsored by your local Jeep dealers. 4 listeners' names have been drawn at random, and the first 4 Reds batters this inning will be batting for those listeners. Kim Tubell of Zanesville, Ohio. Alex Gonzalez bats for you. And a ground ball down to third, picked up by Wright. He'll throw across the diamond for the first out in the Reds' 8th inning against Humber. If one of the first 4 batters gets a single, you get a $10 Kroger gift card and 2 Reds tickets. A double, 25 and 2 tickets. A triple, 75 and 2 tickets. A home run, airfare. And grand slam, a brand new Jeep you will win. To claim your prize, we'll give you the number should you win. Lee Brickler Jr. of Bellevue, Kentucky. Ken Griffey Jr. will bat for you. And there's a first pitch strike on the inside corner. The 2 big stories today: Tom Schern on the mound, 6 innings, 3 hits, no runs. is 3 outs away from going to 2-0 in his major league career, all of 3 major league starts. A breaking ball low to Junior. And of course, the first ever start by Joey Votto. Came up as a pinch hitter in the game last night, struck out against Guillermo Mota, but makes his first start, and it's been a perfect day for Votto. About off to the third base side. 1-2 to Junior. Votto a home run in the second. He walked and scored in the fourth. Single to left in the fifth. Single to left in the seventh. And it's been extremely impressive at the plate today. Junior, meanwhile, 1 of 4. He doubled back in the third inning, and that strike 3 called on the outside corner for the second out here in the 8th. So now the third batter in the inning, Brandon Phillips, will be batting for Jerry Roudabush of New Carlisle, Ohio. If you'd like to enter the Big Payoff Inning, simply send a postcard with your name, address, and phone number to Big Payoff Inning, 8044 Montgomery Road, Suite 650, Cincinnati, Ohio, 45236. Here's Brandon Phillips. And a breaking ball is in there, a strike. Phillips a 2-run home run in the first inning, his 28th of the year, breaking Joe Morgan's single season record for home runs by a second baseman in Reds history. A check swing, and he went around on a breaking ball away. 0-2.
You know, I don't know how many people realize how big of a deal that is, but that is a big deal. You break a record of a Hall of Famer like Joe Morgan. I don't know. I guess when you're 8 years old and you wear the number 8 from that point until you graduate from college, like I did, you know, you kind of hold that very, very special. But man, this dude's in the Hall of Fame. He's one of the greatest second basemen of all time.
One of the greatest players of all time.
I know.
0-2 on Brandon Phillips. And another foul ball up behind the plate. Well, obviously, Brandon Phillips is well aware of it. I mean, you know, he's too young to really remember the player Joe Morgan, but he certainly is well aware of the career that Morgan had. And being inducted into baseball's Hall of Fame, many would say the greatest all-around second baseman that ever played. And Phillips was asked about it last night when he hit his 27th to tie Morgan, and now 28th to break it. Will be asked about it after the game unquestionably today, and paid great respect to the Hall of Famer, whom he's had the chance to meet since becoming a Red a year ago. 1-2 the count on Brandon Phillips. And a foul ball off to the first base side and amongst the fans. Well, Mr. Brantley, tonight is a big night around baseball. I mean, there are critical races going on. And you start right in the Reds division of the National League Central, where all of a sudden the Brewers are a half game back and the Cardinals are 1 game behind.
I know it. And it's only going to get tighter.
There's a hard hit 2-hopper knocked down by the second baseman Castillo. He'll pick it up and throw out Phillips to end the inning. 1, 2, 3 go the Reds. We go to the ninth. The Reds in front of the Mets, 7-0. Well, Cowboy, maybe you ought to get on that tonight. Nothing better on your birthday than acquiring some knowledge and some wisdom.
Start with A.
In things that don't mean a thing. That's why we call it trivia.
Oh,
it doesn't
man.
matter whether you know the answer or not.
I've got more trivia that people have sent me. Here, read this.
Jeff Conine against Stanton, down a strike. Reds leading 7-0. We're in the top of the ninth. And now Stanton ahead 0-2 as Conine again fouls it off to the first base side out of play. Well, the Mets lead in the East could go back to 4 games. Philadelphia continues to lead Atlanta. That game in the bottom of the 6th inning at Turner Field, 5-0. And another foul ball out of play. Don't forget, it's Imes Friend for Life Dog Day at the ballpark Wednesday, September the 12th. You can bring your dog right into the ballpark. I'm going to do it. And enjoy a great night of activity for dogs and owners before the game. $22 will get you a field box ticket for both you and your best pal. And more importantly, $2 with each purchase will be donated to the Hamilton County SPCA. They're breaking ground on a brand new building, and they could certainly use your help. That ball pulled foul down the left field line. They do great work, the SPCA here in Hamilton County. The first 5,000 pet owners get a red squeaky toy, courtesy of Imes. Visit Reds.com to pre-register your dog and to purchase tickets. There's strike three, swinging to Conine, and he is gone to begin the ninth inning.
I wonder what that feels like to have to face not only one of your teammates, but one of your buddies that was your teammates on the opposite club. Not only for Stanton, but also for Conine. Obviously, Stanton's feeling pretty good right now.
Well, now the batter is Ruben Gotay, and he takes a fastball from Stanton off the outside corner. Gotay 0 for 2 has also drawn a walk. Reds leading 7-0 as they're now just 2 outs away from ending what has been such an ugly 5-game losing streak. I mean, really outside of the one game started by Arroyo over the weekend in St. Louis. The Reds have given up so many runs, so many hits, and have had very little offense up until last night and obviously again today.
And I think a lot of today's ball game goes right back to Mr. Tom Shern.
1-1 account on Ruben Gotay, and a breaking ball just under the knees. Would you like me to run back and get you something to drink?
No, I'm all right.
Okay.
I'm good. Hey, what can I say?
I mean, every time I turn around.
I know. I like it.
Want to wish Siggy, as I like to call him. Me and Pete Rose both call him Siggy. Everybody else calls him Seg. Bill Seg Dennison will be representing the Castellini team tonight in Ken Griffey Jr.'s Stars and Strikes big bowling event. Now, Siggy is quite the bowler.
You can bowl?
He is a left-hander.
Call the dogs.
And he has an average up over 170.
Very nice.
He tells me that was a few years ago. But he is the lead dog on the Team Castellini group tonight. So he will be bowling and raising money for Cincinnati Children's Hospital Medical Center tonight. So Siggy, good luck. I'm sure we'll get a full report tomorrow on the Stooge Report with Willie.
The Stooge Report.
Bill Cunningham will be back on the air tomorrow. Here's a 3-2 pitch and a swing and a foul ball back out of play.
Saw Bill here today.
Well, I got to believe that Siggy will be doing some kind of report on Doc's show on our flagship home later tonight, giving an update on the Stars and Strikes event out on Beachmont Avenue at Kingpen Lanes. Now, see, that's where I went bowling when I was a kid here in Cincinnati, out of Kingpen Lanes. That's out in Anderson. 3-2 to Gotay, and the pitch on the way is another foul ball to the screen.
You know, there's still a chance I could buy a house out there. It's either Anderson or Kenwood. That's kind of, or is it, do you call it Madeira or Madera?
Well, it all depends. Well, people call it both.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a right way or a wrong way. I don't think that's one of those in Cincinnati that people would get uptight about. But there are some things you got to make sure. Like if you said Mariemont instead of Marymont.
Or if I said Xavier.
Yeah, that would not be good. Swinging a foul ball out of play, that would not be good at all.
They would kick me to the curb, wouldn't
That's
they?
right. Well, at least those that root for Xavier.
They would throw me right under the bus.
Now, if you were to say that to a University of Cincinnati Bearcat fan right around the crosstown shootout, you might get a hug. And somebody might buy you a cold one.
Yeah, and somebody might shoot me.
3-2 on Ruben Gotay. High fly ball into left field, playable out there for Jason Ellison. And he's got it. The Mets are down to their final out. Where is Siggy, the crosstown shootout, this upcoming year? Do you have any idea? That will be over at the Cintas Center on the campus of Xavier University. And Mr. Brandley, If you are here this winter and haven't moved yet, but if you're in town, you have to go to the Crosstown Shootout between UC and Xavier.
I love basketball because Xavier always comes down. Well, I won't say always, but they have been down quite a few times to face the Dogs of Mississippi State. And that's one we do have a decent basketball
Yes, you
team.
do. Here's Lastings Millage, and a breaking ball is inside. But that is a can't-miss game, if at all possible. Now, ducats are hard to come by, but a cat like yourself should have no problem.
You talking about my pool?
Well, especially with the owner. I mean, you and him are like, joined at the hip. Mr. Castellini, I think he's on the board over at Xavier University, if I'm not mistaken. That one dumped foul and out of play to the first base side. If you need some help from some of my friends over on the UC side, you just let me know. Might be able to help you out.
Are you a Cincinnati fan?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Huggy Bear not here anymore, but now rooting for Mick Cronin to get it rolling. 1-1 on Lastings Millage. And a comebacker to Stanton. He fields, plants, throws, and the Reds win it by a final count of 7-0.